welcome everybody to October 27th architecture meeting. And I think Sasha's going to join. He was going to try to get here. He had some questions about some of the, he wants to use our Helm charts with Terraform. So he's currently working on that. I'll have to make sure that there's an issue out there around it, because I think that's a great idea to have that part in place. Here he is. Hey, Sasha.
Hey, Steve.
I was just telling everybody that you're working on the Terraform with Ortelius.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a great idea. Ortelius in the box.
Yeah.
Ortelius in a box.
Yeah. We'll need an issue out there if there's not one out there.
Okay.
Just so we can cross-reference, so we know who's working on what. So let's go ahead and create an issue for that and assign it to yourself. And then also on that front, I think the Helm charts aren't quite being updated through the pipeline process. So in order to simplify things, I think we should move away from the Google Cloud build and just do everything in the GitHub Actions, because you just have a little more access or visibility into the repo for doing the Helm updates in the index and things like that. So the only tricky part on that front will be around the parent, the main and sub charts that we'll need to do the the whole push out of the monolith plus the microservices. So I'll take a look at that and make sure we have some issues out there so folks can work on those at that level. And then I also did, Trace and I have been working on new CLI documentation around our integration into CI tools like Jenkins. So trying to simplify that whole process, getting rid of the old Jenkins plugin, some of the Groovy library, some of that it's just outdated. And the CLI is the easier way to go on that front. I did rename the repo. Used to be comp update, was Ortelius/comp update. I did rename that over to Ortelius/CLI. So that is where that repo got renamed to. Still the Python code in there, interfacing with our RESTful APIs to do a bunch of the work on that front. Other things, and we kind of talked about this at the general community meeting, is removing the deployment engine from Ortelius and just focusing on just the service catalog piece. So if anybody has any objections to that, please raise them. If not, we're just gonna cut away probably at least a third of the code base. There's a bunch of that C++ code, a bunch of documentation around like DM script and things like that will all go away to make our lives easier. It doesn't mean that we can't keep track of what's going on with deployments. Just instead of Ortelius doing the deployment, it will record like what Captain did or Argo or whatever your CI deployment is. We'll just log through the Ortelius CLI that a deployment was done to this environment. So that's like a quick update of what we got going on that front. And if there's no objections on removing the deployment engine, we'll get that moved along. It's going to be an iterative process. We'll find things straggling behind that we'll just need to clean up over time. And then now on to the blockchain stuff. There are some PRs out there. So as part of the grant, I kind of put in, when I was putting together the rules, we needed 3 reviewers on a PR so a person can get the bounty. And I think there's a couple out there, Ukarsh, for you that you're issues that you're working on that I need to figure out a bounty with, and we could do that offline. I just want to make sure everybody gets some money out of this. So let's go ahead and take a look at, and then Ukarsh, you mentioned that on Discord you wanted, you're suggesting like a mini demo. Is that your idea? Can you fill us in on that front?
Yeah. So currently, like some of the people are writing the methods, right? And some other developers would be consuming those. So it is a good idea to have like a small presentation kind of thing, so that if you want to bring up something in your local machine, that will be doable, right?
Cool. And do you think that we should, because of the time zone differences, that we should require folks to record those and attach them to the issue, either like as a YouTube link or embed, just upload the MP4, or what are folks' thoughts on that front?
I think we can have it too, like work group kind of thing. So because I think I have connected with Joseph couple of times. So his time zone and Indian time zone is pretty like comfortable.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so with that, let me share my screen and get over there. Oh, and while I'm thinking of it, on the issues and the pull requests, one thing that we need to do is you need to cross-reference back to the issue. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the repo that we've been doing the blockchain work in. And we have 3 pull requests. And one of the things that we need to do is reference in this top description the issue that you're working on, that it's associated to. And there's a set of keywords you could do. And if you look up in the GitHub auto close methodology, there's like resolves, closes, fixes. But basically what you have to do is you have to put that keyword, and then because we're cross repository, you have to do Ortelius/Ortelius and then the issue number. And what happens is when this PR gets merged, then we will go ahead and auto close that other issue. But it has to be in this top comment. It doesn't work if you add it as a subsequent comment at that level. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
So let's see, Kirsch, this is yours. You want to walk? Do you want me to turn the screen sharing over to you? All right.
Yep. I can demonstrate this.
All right, give me 1 second. Get back there. Oh, there it is.
Okay, I'm sharing the screen.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, just explain what your issue was that you're trying to tackle, so people have a context. Oh, it's because the issue's over in the other repo.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so basically the objective of this issue was to add the support for Python libraries so that we can add or retrieve minimized JSON to and from NFT storage. So NFT storage is basically a Filecoin or um, NFT based storage. Basically, we can store our data as a NFT non-fungible tokens, that is storage format, and we can create our transactions in the ledger. So the objective of this story was to provide the support for the methods that can be used in other issues. So right now, like there is some other issues which will be consuming these methods. So let me take it to the methods that I've written.
Yeah, so, and this one is actually consuming another issue that we worked on a couple weeks ago on standardizing the minimization of the JSON data. So
Correct.
these things are all kind of going to build upon each other.
Yeah, so let me give a brief idea about here as well. So basically in this issue, what we were doing, we were just minimizing the data, JSON data objects, so that whenever we create CIDs for the hashes, we get the same identical CIDs for our NFT. So that was the prime objective of this minimize JSON method. So we have implemented this in Python and JavaScript, and this particular issue was for the Python. So the method that I have exposed is save, check, and status. So actually on the website, it was only available for the support that was there was only available for the file. But I thought since while consuming the methods or something, there is some intermediate objects like data stream or something sort of that. So we would need some sort of support wherein we also are able to save the file, or we can also save the JSON data itself. So therein I took this extra parameter, which is the type. So if you want to save your file, you can just give a path here in the data, and that will just save your file as a NFT data, and that will return with the CID. Or if you have already loaded your JSON data as a like input stream or something, or byte stream or some other object, so you can directly pass that object and give the type as JSON, and that will just save that data as it is and return the CID. So I tested this code. So what I did, here I've written a unit test for this. So let's suppose you're sending this data, or you're sending this data as a file. So that will have like no differences, and this will return a CID for you. So the CID in both the cases would be same. So here we can see this is the CID that will be returned, no matter what is the formatting, whatever is the indentation or something. One thing that we can also see here, we are already using this get minimized data method that was written as part of the previous issue. So we are already consuming these methods. Any questions till now?
The one thing that we'll need to figure out is where we're going to put those reusable methods. Are they in the utils Python file?
Right now they are in this directory Python.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm like following the notion of the Golang. In Golang, like whenever you write the methods, you write the unit adjacent to that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, in Python, they should be kept somewhere other directly in the test or somewhere. We
Right,
can
but
isolate them.
But the where is the get minimized data defined? That
Here in the inside this utils.
Okay, so as we do more utility methods, that will add them to the utils .py for now.
Correct. later, like some sort of refactoring would be needed, so
Yeah,
that we can.
yeah, we'll have to open an issue and down the road for refactoring, but right now this looks great.
Okay, so here I've like prepared a README file as well. So let's suppose you want to play with these methods. So these are the minimum requirements. Let me open this preview one. Yeah, so these are the minimum requirements. You need to have an API key for your NFT.storage. Let me show you how you can create one. Okay, it's super easy. You just have to create your account, and here you can see API keys. And this will give you a test storage for your as a playground for you. So currently I have like uploaded these NFTs data and CID. We can see these are the CIDs. And here the storage providers, these are the deals, or in terms of Filecoin, they call it as a deal. I don't know why they call it as a deal, but yeah. So this is one of the provider. Filecoin is one of the provider for this NFT storage. So we can see these deals happening.
And for those who don't know anything about Filecoin basically is a group of companies that want your storage to store your data, and they actually bid on and create these contracts around being able to store things. And so like I believe they said like a terabyte is like $4 a month on Filecoin, just because of the way they're able to do all this bidding and distribution. Now, the one thing is with NFT storage is you can actually delete things from it, but from what I was reading is, so even if you delete the SID, that your file may still exist out on one of the storage providers forever. So even test data.
Yes. Correct. So even if I delete this and use this IPFS CID to browse this data, this will still be visible. This might take like a couple of seconds to load. This will be still present.
Cool.
Okay, so let me go back. Yeah, go ahead. Do you have a question?
No, I just say that looks great.
Yeah. So I have used these two extra libraries. So this one was needed. This is for NFT storage. And like I also use this PyYAML for fetching this some of the these extra variables, like host, what should be the host, what should be the API key.
Oh, perfect.
This will give us some flexibility. Yeah, like down the line we would need some sort of mechanism to fetch this as part of the secret management, right?
Right.
But,
We'll have to, yeah, that's going to be something that we'll have to figure out, because when we get into private side chains versus public ones, so take the use case, the public side will be the open source. So we have an SBOM for Alpine, for example, or OpenJDK would be a better example. So OpenJDK Docker image is going to have a SBOM. That's going to be our public SBOM. And then I have my application that's consuming the OpenJDK Docker image, and I'm going to layer on my Java code on top of that. And I'm going to have an SBOM for that. And that's going to be on the private side. So we'll actually be, this could become quite complex, managing the API keys to be able to make sure things go in the right places. So we'll just have to keep that in the back of our mind down the road. But I like the config file here. That was a great idea.
Okay, so that's all. Here I've written few of the positive test scenarios, and one of them is negative one. So let's suppose we for now we just support two types of data, file or JSON. If you send any other types of data, this is for your exception.
Cool.
Another thing that would be exciting to see is like there is the equivalent methods that are written in JavaScript, right? So what CID those are creating, and is they are like same as the CID that is created by this Python library. So that also we need to check, right?
It's the
Right.
CID, the hash. Is that what we're talking? Is that the hash?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the hash of, you could think of it as the file locator for, I think it stands for a content identifier or something like that.
No, that makes
Yes,
sense.
content.
Yeah, content ID. So that's basically, instead of when you go to retrieve a file, instead of retrieving it by a name, like foo.json, you're gonna go retrieve it by the CID.
This
So
is the
the-
sample response.
So that's the
Yes,
metadata
Ashok, go
attached to the CID.
Yes.
correct.
So that's not the actual file, is it? It's just the metadata.
No, this is not correct. This is the metadata.
It's just telling you about the file. This. Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we
there's
saw.
isn't there a method to go pull on the to read it from IPFS or NFT storage?
So
Go.
one second.
This
So
can be
what we
your-
can get here,
go
using
ahead.
this, using this like NFT dot storage, we can only get the meta information. Okay, there is no API that will give you the whole data itself. For that, we have to write one IPFS client. So there are different libraries that we can leverage, and they will give us the exact data that we need.
So this code is purely giving you the metadata about that information that's stored,
Correct.
right? It's not the actual
Yes.
physical file. Okay. Geez,
So-
you've done a
Just
great
saving
job.
the-
So
Ooh.
the NFT storage API doesn't have a retrieve or a get.
Oh yeah.
No,
Like
it doesn't. Let me show you. Let me show you the readme.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's just bringing back the information about the data, right? All the time. It's not actually giving you the file. Is that what we're trying to sort of
Right.
narrow down to? Okay.
Correct. The perfect protocol to fetch the data is IPFS. So we'll have
Yeah.
to, what you do, like if you want to get some data using a REST API, you use some HTTP client, right? So similarly, if you want to get some NFT data, you have to use IPFS client.
Okay, cool.
So IPFS is a different protocol.
It makes sense. Yeah. It's a different protocol. Exactly.
Ukarsh, would you mind opening an issue around the IPFS retrieval then?
Yes, I can do that. But before that, let me show you this.
Yeah, you don't have to do it now, but
Okay. Okay, I'll then create one issue for that.
yeah. And then let me double check that issue. So on this one, we need 2 more people to review and approve it. So
Okay.
Sasha, if you can go get in
Yeah.
there, and Arvin.
What's that? LAS bomb ledger
It's
pools.
yeah, number 8.
Can we go there?
LAS bomb ledger.
I added my 2 cents to 2 I
Yeah.
saw in the Discord. Just to assist.
Doing it.
Okay, I'm going there now. Pull requests. Here we go. Which one is that?
Number 8. Oh, so this one that you're looking at now, Ukarsh is actually doing
Joseph's.
Joseph's with the
Yeah.
pull from the storage.
I'm seeing three in here. Code with Utkarsh,
No, no.
Arvind, and Joseph. Oh,
I'm also
Joseph.
doing it right now.
Which one is it? I'm sorry, I'm confused now which one it is.
I just dropped it in chat.
I didn't have.
So in chat, you'll see the,
Oh, thanks.
Uh,
So Steve for the
Oh, I was
Steve
on
for the
there.
JavaScript.
uh, uh,
Oh, add your review.
uh, add your review section is not showing in my screen, so I think I didn't have authority to do that.
okay. Here we
This is a fantastic piece of ransomware. Thank you, Utkarsh. Just joking.
So guys, I have to drop here in like 1 minute, but let me get I'm gonna change the permissions on the repo real quick here. I just got two factors. It's asking for my two-factor.
Yes, of course, you've done a lot of amazing work here, man. Like a coding monster.
Come on, man. Ortelius in the box. That was the dream.
We're getting there.
Finally, you're doing it.
It's starting to work, eh? It's working. Like I'm using Terraform and it's deploying it. It's trying to suck the Helm charts from Artifact Hub, I think, or something, or from the
I
repos.
can't even think of it.
So
Yeah.
go ahead and refresh your page, Sasha and Arvin. Let me know if you have your access now.
Yeah, now I got the access.
I
Okay.
approved. Yeah, it's
Cool.
got a tick there now from me.
All right, cool. And then if you can, so Arvin, just because I got to run to another meeting, if you guys want to, I'm going to end up using this.
You can use my
So,
Zoom for a little bit if you want.
Let's go ahead and review the other two, you guys, and I will, if you want to do a walkthrough, go ahead. I'll leave the Zoom running if you want, or we can just drop and do it offline. It's up to you guys.
So these three PRs that are sitting here for the SBOM ledger, you
Right.
need those reviewed. Okay.
Yes.
I just submit my review.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, we can just do it offline. That's cool.
All right. We'll do it over Discord, make sure everybody gets these. And if anybody has any questions, or not sure how anything works, please raise it on Discord and we can always get somebody to record their part of it.
Cool.
Sure.
All right, excellent job, guys. Sorry I had to drop today. Just
No
got another
worries.
meeting. I'll talk
No
to you
worries.
later.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Great job.